Tonight at the NATO summit, President Trump with world leaders pushing back on that preliminary intelligence report that had said Iran's nuclear program was set back by only a few months after those U.S. strikes. What the president is now saying tonight, and the moment today when the NATO chief referred to President Trump as daddy. How the president responded. Our chief White House correspondent Mary Bruce traveling with the president.
Tonight on the world stage with America's NATO allies, President Trump insisting the U.S. strikes on Iran decimated the Iranian nuclear program, rejecting a preliminary Pentagon report that sources say showed the program was only set back months.
It was very successful. It was called obliteration.
But sources tell us the early intelligence from the Pentagon indicates at least 2 of the Iranian nuclear facilities targeted were not completely destroyed, and that Iran moved much of its stockpile of near weapons-grade uranium before the U.S. struck, but the president rejecting that conclusion.
We think we hit them so hard and so fast they didn't get to move.
Tonight, the Defense Intelligence Agency, which produced the report, calling it a preliminary low-confidence assessment, not a final conclusion. The president today actually reading Israel's intelligence, which concludes the U.S. bunker-buster bombs that hit Iran's main nuclear enrichment facility, Fordo, destroyed the site's critical infrastructure and rendered the enrichment facility inoperable. And today, that remarkable moment, NATO's Secretary General calling Trump daddy as the president described his approach to Iran and Israel, Trump seeming to enjoy it.
They're not going to be fighting each other. They've had it. They've had a big fight, like 2 kids in a schoolyard. You know, they fight like hell. You can't stop them. Let them fight for about 2-3 minutes, then it's easier to stop them.
And then daddy has to sometimes use strong language.
You have to use strong language. Every once in a while, you have to use a certain word.
Looking ahead, the president announcing the U.S. will resume talks with Iran next week.
We're going to talk to them next week with Iran. We may sign an agreement. I don't know. To me, I don't think it's that necessary. I mean, they had a war, they fought, now they're going back to their world. I don't care if I have an agreement or not. I said, Iran will not have nuclear. Well, we blew it up. It's blown up to kingdom come, and so I don't feel very strongly about it.
And David, while the president says they plan to talk, no face-to-face meetings between the administration and the Iranians appear to be set. We're told Trump's special envoy to the region, Steve Witkoff, has no travel related to this on the books. And tonight, Iran has not acknowledged any talks. David.
It's been quite a NATO summit. Mary Bruce traveling with the president. Mary, thank you. Back here in the U.S. tonight to the midair scare just after takeoff in Las Vegas. Flames and smoke could be seen shooting from an American Airlines passenger jet. Booms heard on the ground. You'll see the flames here shooting from the engine with 159 people on board. Here's ABC's Mola Lengi tonight.
Tonight, alarming video showing flames and smoke shooting out of this American Airlines jet mid-flight.
American 6065, same tension. Looks like it's flames coming out of the engine. Yeah, we're going to have to return.
The Airbus A321 took off from Las Vegas this morning, headed for Charlotte. The crew reporting an engine issue just after takeoff, forcing an immediate turnaround.
There was a loud boom. It caused me to immediately look up.
Mark Jackson filmed this video after first thinking he'd heard fireworks.
It was still very low to the ground. So I immediately was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to witness a plane crash.
American Airlines says the aircraft experienced a mechanical issue. It returned to the airport and taxied to the gate under its own power, where its 153 passengers deplaned normally, adding the aircraft was taken out of service to be evaluated by our maintenance team.
Well, David, this type of incident usually signifies a compressor stall or a plane striking a bird or other debris. The FAA is now investigating.
Mola Lengi with us tonight here. Mola, thank you. We turn next tonight to the home explosion outside Columbus, Ohio. Multiple injuries reported, including several firefighters, 10 fire departments rushing to the scene. Here's ABC's Stephanie Ramos.
Tonight, multiple people injured, including 3 firefighters, after this fiery home blast in Ohio, just outside of Columbus.
I have a report of a house explosion. Caller advised that the house is partially collapsed.
Flames and thick smoke smothering the house before 7 a.m. today.
I heard this boom, and I thought, geez, did something run into a house or something? So I came to the front door, and I looked across the street at their house, and it was half gone.
First responders finding a woman and a man outside the home, the man with extensive burns. Both were taken to the hospital. Fire crews working to extinguish the inferno when this second explosion went off.
We just had another explosion. We have multiple firefighters hurt.
Debris from the blast injuring 3 firefighters. Their conditions were not immediately known. Tonight, authorities say the explosions appear to be accidental.
David, the cause of the explosion is under investigation, but a spokesperson for the gas company says the blast was not due to natural gas. David.
Stephanie Ramos. Steph, thank you. Now to the active manhunt late today outside Los Angeles in Santa Monica. Shots fired at a popular mall, an officer injured, and then officers with long guns searching for the suspect. Trevor Ault with the images coming in from Los Angeles.
Tonight, the massive police response after an officer was injured during a shooting at a popular shopping mall in Santa Monica. It happened near a parking garage, setting off the manhunt. Police and SWAT teams swarming the scene, a helicopter hovering above, officers with long guns searching for a suspect at the 3rd Street Promenade.
They were running around, they were checking the upstairs, the downstairs. They had their guns out.
And late today, authorities arresting a person who they believe is the suspect, saying that wounded officer suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Investigators believe the suspect was also involved in the shooting of 2 teenagers in a Waymo vehicle earlier this week.
And David, the authorities just lifted the lockdown here at the mall just moments ago. There are still a ton of law enforcement vehicles on scene. It's been a terrifying scene here in a very popular portion of Santa Monica. David.
Trevor Ault with the late details. Trevor, thank you.